Well, folks, welcome once again to this episode of Rumble. I have a very interesting person here. He's a mixture of all sorts of things. I mean, he's a man who used to run a printing press, and then from there he went on to the food business. He also dabbles in medicine. So welcome to the show, Vipin.
Thank you.
Your full name is Vipin Sachdev.
Yes,
right?
Vipin
And you
Sachdev.
were in printing.
Yes.
And you ended up in
hospitality.
Oh,
and
yeah,
health.
okay. So,
and health.
Yeah, how the hell did that happen?
Oh, sometime I was in the printing company since 1979. Okay. It was a very wonderful business those days. But then after doing that for 20 years, life became pretty boring. Doing the same thing every day.
It's like the press itself, right?
Yes, press itself
same
every
copies
day.
of the same thing.
Meeting the same customers, meeting the same employees, meeting the same vendors, everything was the same.
Okay.
And it became pretty boring. So one fine day I thought, I don't want to die a bored death. So it's time I do something which is challenging now, because in my printing company I had achieved a lot. We were known to be one of the best printing companies in India. Okay. In fact, our company was the only company in India where the chairman of this company called Heidelberg from West Germany, he visited India and he visited our printing press because it was like a Heidelberg showroom in Chennai.
Oh, okay. I mean, so, is that a reflection on the age of the machines you were having?
No.
Right from the inventor's model?
It was because we believed in the brand Heidelberg and we had so many of them.
Newer.
We would upgrade technology every year or every 1.5 years. We would get in technology that people couldn't even dream of. For example, in 1984, we got the first printing machine, which was called CPC, 1994, computer print control. It was fully computerized. People could not even imagine. Okay, 20, that is 19 years back.
What is being controlled by the computer? I mean, the colors?
Everything.
The paper feed?
Everything. The human intelligence is not there. Earlier, it was skill-based. So, to run a printing machine, you need ustad. Okay.
Who knows the color,
yes.
and the other.
And these ustads were the biggest culprits. You had to bribe them, you had to give them liquor.
Keep them happy.
Yes. I have caught customers in my own company giving them half a bottle of brandy. Because tomorrow is the print job being done for this customer. He's giving him half a bottle of brandy that he can drink tonight. And next day he'll do a good job. So
wouldn't it addle his brains instead of doing a good job?
So when the computers came, this man got moved out. Okay, he was there only to do the basics. The computers would do everything. So I had achieved a level that it became boring. There was nothing more after that.
Oh, where's the Mecca of printing? Is this Heidelberg?
Mecca of printing is Heidelberg in Germany. In India, it's Sivakasi.
Oh yeah, that's a printing business. But the machine making is still...
In Heidelberg in Germany.
Do we make printing machines in India?
Where Hindustan Machine Tools, HMT used to make it.
Oh, they make, is it?
With some Italian collaboration. But it flopped. It did not work.
Never did work.
Yeah, but Heidelberg, the city Heidelberg...
Till today.
Unbelievable. It's one of the largest industry or factories in the world in the city of Heidelberg and outside the city in some place called Fiedlosch. Fiedlosch or something.
All right.
And so the printing came from there, and it became too boring. Okay, I had achieved all the challenges. I was well known. People would come from Bombay, Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore to print with us because we would do with high quality, excellent speed at a reasonable price. Because we had kept
unbeatable.
Yes, we had kept our costs under control. That's the most important thing.
What was the critical thing in cost control?
Everything from productivity. Instead of doing 5 jobs a day, if you do 3 jobs a day, your productivity is poor, your costs are high. Okay, so that comes with
a lot of systems. Downtime, that all sorts of things.
A lot of systems, preventive maintenance. So life became too boring that one fine day I decided to leave.
So one day you pulled out your gun and you blew it away.
Yes, I came out.
And who did you give it to?
My 2 brothers. We have 3 brothers. So they started. I was with them. So they continued to run the press.
So they're still on it.
My family business from my grandfather's period from 1947. They came from that part of India which has gone to Pakistan. We came as refugees here.
Okay. So for a refugee, you've done pretty well for yourself. Okay, so you did this for as long as you could tolerate it. And then?
No, I enjoyed till I did it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, except the last 1.5 years. I used to enjoy it. I used to look forward to going to the company every morning, and I used to work maybe 16 hours a day.
But then again, as you said, it was like a predictable job, and then you got fed up. So how do you get into the food business?
Oh, that was by accident.
Most happy things are accidents.
Yes, so most
serendipity.
My wife used to run this. Me and my wife, when we would go to Bombay or Delhi or somewhere abroad, we were on shoestring budgets. When you go abroad, you can't go to a 5-star restaurant or a 5-star hotel.
True.
We would go to McDonald's, have the junk food there. We would go to Subway, have the healthy
fried
food.
potatoes.
Yes, have the healthy food. They taste very good, the fried potatoes, but they're junk.
Pomfret, yeah.
Yes. We would have the Subway health food and very tasty. So one fine day, Subway opened in Delhi. And we would go there living in, my wife is from Delhi. And this Subway was about 500 meters away from our house. That was the first Subway in India. So she would go there,
So you let the cook go?
carry sandwiches from Delhi to Chennai, carry sandwiches from Singapore to Chennai, carry sandwiches from Dubai to Chennai, wherever Subway was there. So we would love Subway for price, for food, the quality of food, and healthy. So one fine day, she decided to open it here. So the first Subway opened in Spencer Plaza in 2003 now.
Yeah, I remember that one.
October
Yeah.
26th. October 26th.
There's a mob out there.
Yes,
every
mob
day.
out there. And you know whom we made, who cut the ribbon for Subway? When we were doing the construction, I would be there every day for 1 hour because I was in the printing company.
Yeah.
My wife, I would see the contractors and all. My wife would do all the planning as per the plans which came from Subway. There was this young 16 or 15-year-old boy who would come every day, walk in, talk to those civil contractor and plumbing and all, ask them when the restaurant is opening. He would end up meeting my wife. Auntie, when are you going to open the restaurant? He was very interested because he was a Subway fan. He wanted us to open. And I met him many times. So one day before the inauguration, we were wondering, I have a good friend circle, I can call a film star and all. So we were wondering whom we should call. And my father gave the idea, call that boy.
Get that kid.
That kid.
All right, kids. Okay. Yeah, all right, guys. You know what it's like. You have been fans of various things in your life, but hardly anybody respects these people. You still call a film star, but he's different. What is interesting to find out is from just one outlet. Now I think they're all over the darn city. We'll find out how he did that.
Thank you.
So fast food is one thing, and I know you've opened so many branches.
We don't call it fast food.
I know. Well,
we call it QSR, quick service restaurant. So health food served quickly. Whereas...
But is everything you serve truly healthy?
Yes, 100%.
At least
because there's no frying there and there's no butter there.
Okay.
Everything
but you got all those other things you slosh around inside.
Most of them are low fat.
Mayo.
Okay, except
low
the
fat
mayo.
or the no fat?
No, most of them are no fat. Mayo is low fat.
Okay. But without that, there's no taste to this dance.
Yes.
Do you get customers who walk in and say, I don't want that, I don't want honey mustard, I don't want this one. Are there people who just have a plain sandwich, or is it that sauce?
Yes,
that thing that's making the difference?
Yes, it tastes so good because the actual flavor doesn't come from the sauces. It comes from the bread and the fresh vegetables. Okay. But unfortunately, vegetables, other than a vegetarian, the non-vegetarians don't like vegetables. I don't know why. When I eat a Subway sandwich, it can be a chicken, it can be a lamb, it can be a tuna. It will be stuffed with vegetables.
Yeah. And it's crisp.
It's crisp.
And it looks good to the eye.
Looks good. So the first is the looks. When the things look good, you end up having it.
There's a you remember this gentleman who used to run China, what is that famous one in Bombay? That Chinese gentleman, Mr. Wong used to...
Yeah.
Nelson Wong used to...
Nelson Wong, yes. I forgot the name.
He used to say that... China Garden, yes. He used to say, we were friends at one time, she knew him. He used to say that if you don't give your customer the food within 5 minutes of him ordering, his mouth has been producing so many of those juices, and after that it'll all dry up and encrust itself with the very horrible things to hear, but he said that's the way it is. So fast food, success is partly that. You're not sitting there and visualizing, okay, fried this, that, you're there.
Yes.
So you combine the fast part of it along with health.
Quickly. In fact, when we opened, I'll just go to the next stage of my life. When we opened our first Tuscana restaurant in Kadar Namas Khan Road, Tuscana Pizzeria, it's rocking till today. I had a very typical complaint that we are too fast. So this gentleman called me and he said, Vipin, I want to talk to you. So I said, listen, I can't talk to you now. I'm busy with the Express Avenue subway being constructed there. I'll call you later. But this gentleman is a very important personality in this city. So I can't
rub him the wrong way.
So I called him back within 5 minutes. So I asked him what happened. He started putting questions to me. He said, why do people go to your restaurant? So I said, for the food.
Fine dining.
Okay, for the food.
Okay.
No, what else for? I said, value for money. He said, what else for? Then I told him, don't be like a police inspector, only questioning. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, what's the
Is there something wrong?
What's the problem?
He says, I came with this friend here to do a business deal. And we started doing the business deal. The food came. We did not complete our business deal. The desserts came. And
the bill came.
Bill came. So it's too fast. I said, what you can do is in future, tell them to get it 30 minutes later, 20 minutes later. He said, no. You tell your waiters to ask each and every client, do they want slow service or fast service? I said, that's not possible. Okay.
But maybe he had a point, because I mean, if he's using your restaurant to grow his business and he needs to explore and do chamchagiri to his client, and here your guys are just shoving food at him at such a pace.
No, but it comes in 10 minutes. So customer is supposed to tell that, listen, this is my order, get it at 2:30. It's 2 o'clock now, get it at 2:30.
Normally, when they say that, the waiters get pissed off. They say, "Oh, this guy's killing my business. He's going to sit there and drink water." Yeah, I know. In your case, so that is So it's like fine dining where you're not supposed to rush.
Casual dining, we call it.
Okay, casual dining means you don't make such a big fuss about the food, or is that fuss?
No, food is very important. Okay, casual dining is don't make a fuss about so many other things.
Okay,
it can be the ambience. It's not you're not coming to a place for the paintings. Okay. Each of them costing a few lakhs. You're coming. The main thing is food.
What's on the plate?
Yeah, what's on the plate. So subject to these conditions, yes, a lot of things will not be available sometimes due to some issues with the back end. It can be imports. Yeah. But in a fine dining, somehow they will procure it by paying double and triple. We can't do that. Yeah. So we'll rather say sorry that this is not available. So this is casual dining.
Okay. So this hero sandwich is somewhat what the Subway is, isn't it? Is it the original old hero sandwich they used to make in New York? Because I remember I was a sailor. So those days they used this thing called the hero sandwich, long one, something like yours. But from there, it must have evolved into this. It's not a bun,
submarine.
Really, but
Submarine.
It's a submarine,
It looks like a submarine.
A torpedo shape,
torpedo shape, yeah.
But the meat was very critical out there in those. But here we see a lot of people buying vegetarian. Or is it only a Madras phenomenon?
No. All over the world, Subway has 7 sandwiches in the vegetarian menu. In India, we have approximately, I think, 9, with 4 being recently introduced. Earlier, we had 5. Because India, predominantly, a lot of people are vegetarian. And if you don't give them choices, they get pretty bored. Eating the same thing,
I know.
To me, it's not boring. But to many others, it's boring. I can eat
but
a
isn't
veggie
the
delight
vital
every day.
difference those things that you squeeze on top? That makes the change?
No. That's common.
At the end of the day, it's onions and capsicum, is all the same. Yes. But isn't that which makes the difference?
No, it makes a lot of difference. But every component is very important there. So if you do not like a particular sauce, don't add it. But don't tamper with the basic components of the vegetables, because that gives you the taste.
That's been well researched and proven to be
popular. But in India, because you can mix and match whatever you like, you can add a little more. People they are adventurous. In a Subway restaurant, they are adventurous. They say add this extra, add that extra. I don't want this. We agree. We do it. All over India, Subways do it.
And so moving away from fast food service into the restaurant, was that a leap of faith? A new world?
Yes, it was. It was a very challenging world. Like I told you, the Subway which my wife opened in 2003 in Spencer Plaza, she fell ill in 2005. And it was a long sickness, and that is the time my calling came that I should leave my boring printing business, which was not challenging me anymore. So I started running her restaurant. And 6 months down the line, I realized that was the Subway in Spencer Plaza.
No, you started that one.
She started it. I took it over from her.
No, but you didn't go and open your fine dining or whatever, casual dining restaurant.
That came in 2009.
Okay, folks, there is a growth pattern in everybody's life. You start. Some people might go backward. They will say from a fine dining go into fast food. He goes the other way around. We'll check how he did that when we come back. So you have made a reputation in Madras, which is completely. I wouldn't say you're alone in that space, because I know there are some other people who have been as adventurous as you, jumping from this into that. Though not from printing into the food business. I know Madhavan is also in the food business. He's trying specialty restaurants. But you've gone into Italian and now sort of shifted into what sounds like a Greek name?
Yes. So we started in 2009 with this restaurant called Tuscana, because somewhere I realized I should start having my own brand. Why do we Indians always do the hard work,
why the Subway?
For somebody else? So I decided, when I can have 12 Subways of my own, 12 restaurants of my own, why can't I do my own brand? So with Chef Willie together, he's a brand himself in Chennai.
Yes. From
New Zealand, living in Chennai for nearly 20 years.
That's amazing. What on earth keeps him here?
He loves it. He loves this chaos here.
Yeah? Okay. He must have been a Hindu who was born again in this country. No Italian.
I can't walk on the road. I can't walk on the road because it's dusty. Yeah. Okay, I feel dust on my face, but he loves walking on this Chennai roads.
Yeah?
Yeah, he loves it. He goes on the bike.
I know.
Yeah.
And his face is almost like Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders, yes.
He's a brand by himself. So how did you get him into the...
Oh, by luck, through some common friend, and then we decided, let's open one restaurant.
What is his specialty?
Oh, he's into international cuisine.
Okay, so not necessarily Italian.
No, every kind of cuisine. That includes Indian cuisine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's very meticulous. He plans well. He thinks well. He can foresee.
Does he have a family?
His wife was with him here, and she's no more. Now he's got married to one other lady in Chennai.
All right, and they're still here. They live
she's
here.
expat. They live here.
Okay.
She's expat too, and so he thinks well. He can foresee the future with respect to food. How people would love that dish.
Has he been able to tell you anything but what? That he has been able to influence eating styles or habits in Chennai?
There are two people who changed the Chennai food scene. One is Mr. Madhav of Oriental Cuisine.
Yes.
Okay, he's the first.
Yeah.
Okay, and second is Chef Lee, when he was in the Park Hotel.
That's right.
Yeah, when he was in the Park Hotel.
He was more of a friendly sort of character.
Yes,
I think that was what made him different from the other chefs.
Correct.
So he's seen the change happening in his lifetime.
I say he created the change.
Okay.
In the upmarket fine dining in the park, which he came out of it, joined me, and it's a casual dining.
Okay, but still maintaining style and quality.
Style. That's very important.
So is authenticity very serious with a big deal with him?
It is very serious. Authenticity is very serious. But then, what is authentic?
Yep.
A pizza in Italy in this town vis-a-vis the same pizza 100 meters away, both are different.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
There's nothing authenticity there. It has to...
Though they say the cheese is very critical.
It is very critical.
And where do you guys get your cheese from?
Oh, we do a mixture of 3 cheeses. One comes from Gujarat and 2 are imported.
Oh.
Okay. Gujarat is a city known for, a state known for its dairy. So it comes from there.
Okay.
So milk is very important there.
Yeah. And Ooty or Nilgiris is supposed to have
a lot of cheeses. But then...
what you need is...
consistency and what we need and the pricing. There are a lot of factors.
And delivery.
You cannot stock a lot. It gets spoiled. So the entire system has to fall in place.
We see what looks like those programs that come on television with stacks of cheese lying on shelves for months or years,
that's stored in a
different stored differently.
Yeah, stored differently, aged cheese. But see, those programs, I don't see them.
Why is that?
It's good for television.
Okay.
It's good for television.
It's drama.
It's drama.
Drama in the kitchen.
It's making youngsters come into this industry, which is good one way. Okay. We need smart youngsters to come. So thank God the television stations have started showing these programs.
Correct.
But there are so many of them now.
I know.
You don't know what you're seeing. When you flip channels, you're seeing these programs.
And then they have these master chefs with everybody running around, abusing each other. There's one guy,
Hell's Kitchen. Gordon Ramsay.
That's right. Gordon Ramsay. He comes across like a tyrant. But that's
drama. That's drama. It's impossible for Gordon Ramsay to get into a restaurant which had flopped, clean it up, train them, and 1 week everything is fine. It's impossible.
Well,
Life is not
a
so
great
easy.
Series. That's a great television. Series. Was it American?
Yes, American. Yeah.
And is America also in your travels? Have you seen America being the new homeland of food adventurous?
The food scene abroad, like the US, is very different than India. There, I don't think there are kitchens in anybody's house. If it's there, that's for a rare breakfast or a cup of tea or a coffee. A rare breakfast, lunch and dinner, or a rare dinner. Lunch, breakfast, dinner is all out.
Or is it these
TV
dinners in our
Yes, it's cheaper. See, it's all cost. It's cheaper to buy food out there, and rather than cooking at home.
Yeah.
So the food scene is entirely different.
These Americans watching that really scary little documentary I once saw, somebody, famous man made it, of how these meats are made.
Oh, yes.
They toss in full animals and it comes out as sausages.
You're right. It happens.
Yeah, and it's still going on.
Yes, it's still going on in the fast food industry, not the QSR, not the Subway industry, the fast food industry.
Okay.
Still going on.
And there's one interesting lady calls herself Food Babe. Have you come across her?
No.
I just got a tweet or somebody sent me a message. She's an Indian girl. I can't remember her name, but she calls herself by the name Food Babe. And she's a nice, pretty little girl, good figure.
So she's like a babe.
And she calls herself a babe, Food Babe. And this is her passion in life, or her calling. She checks out all the different food, analyzes them for dangerous chemicals, this and the other. I think she's even taken on McDonald's and even probably Subway at some point.
Yeah, I think I don't know who this Indian lady is, whether it's the same one. She took up the Subway, taken on Subway.
Some additive.
Yes, additive in the US. That additive was never in Subway India or Subway in other parts of the world. It was in US, but that was approved by the FDA. And in any case, Subway has removed that additive after this issue got blown out of proportion.
That the food grade was responsible for that.
See, according to me, a lot of guests, they're more bothered about the small things in the additives, but there are bigger things in life which they forget.
Yeah.
Forget.
That's true. So there was a recent, like a directive saying that don't worry too much about the taste. Worry about the ingredients. It's just like, sometimes they analyze the carbohydrates, fats, this, that, and the other. Just forget all that stuff. Just see what are they putting into it. So you find some chemical thing which really sounds scary. It could be like a drain cleaner. Sounds like that, but when you check it might be something.
No, but my personal opinion is the food that you eat at home is the food that you eat in the restaurant is safer than the food you eat at home.
Yeah.
Because in the restaurants there are systems that we follow in purchases, in storage, in cooking. Half of the systems are not there at home.
I know.
So if people believe that in restaurants there's something wrong, I would say yes, there can be something wrong in restaurants to the minuscule, but the majority that goes wrong happens at home.
So well, Vipin, thanks for coming across.
My pleasure.
Lovely talking to you. And I hope actually
Thank you.
more people get inspired by you and spread the good word about food. We are very limited in whatever we have in India.
Yes.
Of course, maybe our food is extremely good also, so we don't see the need to be too adventurous. But I'm glad you kick-started the whole process here in Chennai.
Thank you.